Hi everyone, welcome back. My family and I are now here in Florence, Italy. I enjoyed my Venice trip for 4 days and hope my Florence trip will be as great. Let's begin. First day here, we arrived in Florence by train from Venice. It was a 2-hour train ride. We are lucky that our place is located where the action is, and here is the Plaza del Duomo, and this is the church. The Opera del Duomo Museum houses the world's largest sculpture collections. It's mostly a church with a museum complex associated with it, and it's the largest church in Italy. You may not see it well, but the outside of this church/museum here is covered with sculptures and a blend of pink and green and white marble. It's really, really big. See it there? Huge. We are not planning to go in this museum, but instead we will go to the Accademia Gallery. Here we are at the Accademia Gallery. This is where the famous David statue is located. But first we're going to look at some paintings and sculptures from the Renaissance period. It's hard for me to really appreciate these paintings and sculptures because I don't know the background, the stories, and the art as well. But I'm glad I came. This artist here was considered one of the finest sculptors of the late Renaissance style. His famous masterpiece is the massive marble titled Abduction of a Sabine Woman. It was an event from the early history of Rome. The soldiers abducted the women of the Sabine tribe in order to make them their wives. Anyway, I thought this was good information. Okay, now we are here in the Michelangelo exhibit hall. Here you can see his 4 famous unfinished work. Now what we have been waiting for, here is the famous David statue. Here is David in all his glory. Did you know that David is 17 feet tall and weighs 12,000 pounds and is carved from a single block of white marble? Michelangelo wanted to depict David before his battle with Goliath. And also, did you know that Michelangelo was just 26 when he carved David? So at a very young age, he was competing with other matured and experienced artists. Okay, I'm going to give you a 360-degree tour of this masterpiece. And if you look carefully, you can see realistic details on his body, like the muscle and even his facial expression. And if you look at his legs and his arms, you can see it looks like veins. And as I'm turning, you can see his rib cage. So you can see, like, his ribs right there. Such a great masterpiece. At the museum, we spent some time just walking around, touring Florence. Day 2 here in Florence, we are at Uffizi Art Gallery, which is one of the biggest museum in Italy. This museum has a few levels and 2 long hallways. This is a view from the top floor looking out, and you can see how long these 2 hallways are. This museum contains paintings, sculptures, and artifacts from the Renaissance period. I'm just showing you some pictures of the arts here. It's such a big museum, it took us 2 hours, and I don't think we saw everything. Here's a famous artist that we know, Leonardo da Vinci. 3 of his paintings are in here. Did you know that Da Vinci is in his last name? It indicates his birthplace, the town of Vinci in Tuscany, Italy. And fun fact about him, he is actually an accomplished musician. He played the music instrument called the lyre, and he can also sing. Interesting, huh? This next room I have to show you. We weren't allowed to go in. I'm actually standing by the doorway, and I just thought this room is very royal-esque, if you know what I mean. I mean, look at the gold and the rich red color walls and art on the floor and the ceiling. It's just beautiful. You might recognize these paintings by the famous artist Botticelli. How about these paintings? We know the story about Adam and Eve, right? Did you ever wonder how painting gets restored? See this painting? See the rip? It looks like she's cleaning it and might be a while. Since we have been here for 2 hours, unfortunately, we just can't stay to watch. Don't know how long it's gonna take, but it's too bad. It would have been nice to see how she restored that rip. After the museum, we ended the day exploring more parts of Florence. You will see coming up a famous bridge called the Ponte Vecchio Bridge. It's famous for having houses and shops built directly on it. Currently, it's just souvenir stores. Day 3, we rented a car and drove over an hour from Florence to the district of Pisa to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is famous for its significant lean, which began during construction due to unstable soil, which is a mix of clay, shells, and sand. It was designed as a bell tower, and in the 1990s, a major restoration project went underway to help to reduce the tilt. So it sounds like before they did the restoration, the tilt was even more significant. And as you can see, it's pretty tilted. We are all familiar with this famous landmark. We've seen it in books, on TV. We learn about it, but it's nothing compared to seeing it in person. It's so amazing. This is better than I imagined it would be. Here's the front of it, and as you can see, people are in line so they could go in to climb up the tower. Okay, I'm off to my next destination. I enjoyed my time in Florence, Italy, and glad we took this detour to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Even though Florence was only 2 days, it was a busy 2 days. Florence contains numerous museums and galleries and is full of culture and Renaissance art. Some things to consider is the weather. It's really hot here and it's only early June, so dress accordingly with lots of sunblock. Also, there are more mosquitoes in Florence than in Venice, so bring insect repellent or anti-itch cream to use. We are off to Tuscany, and I hope you will come along. Please like and subscribe to see my previous trip to Venice and the next 2 upcoming trips that I will be posting soon. I will be back. Thanks for watching.